motel under streetlights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names if you call me up. Feel like the least of all your problems. You can't reach me if you wanna stay up tonight, stay up at night. Like green lights in your body language. Seems like you could use a little company from me. But if you got everything and figured out like you say, don't waste a minute, don't wait, admit it. It's only a matter of time for you to tell me now. 'Cause I've been up for 3 nights at the motel under streetlights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names if you call me up. 3 nights at the motel under streetlights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names if you call me up. I can't fix each and all your problems. I'm no good with names or faces. She sent me naked pictures from her neck down to the waist. I get my feelings involved. She stopped returning my calls. The flaws turning to walls and barricades. And I'm too far gone in all the wrong ways. And every long day is a bad one. I can't make you call or make you stay or take you off a pedestal. So I get lost in modern music, watching movies, talking to the walls in my room, walking through the halls in my head, just trying to make sure it all makes sense. I ain't made of money, maybe someday you can take it from me. I'm up too late, thinking about you, and MIA for 3 nights at the motel under streetlights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names if you call me up. 3 nights at the motel under streetlights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want, and you can call me names if you call me up.
You don't like roller coasters. How could you ever love the girl like me? I took you to the end of my street so you could see my bones. Woke up with a promise to you. Our stars came in a packet of 2. She's walking up to you. She's dying to be by your side. She's walking up to you. She's dying to be by your side. Fool's gold, shining in the night, so easy on the eyes. Fool's gold, how many times do I have to realize? Fool's gold, so bright, fooling everyone inside. Fool's gold, how many times do I have to realize? I won't bend to you, no. I don't know how to. Can you handle a girl like her? She is bolder than you think. Can you love a girl like me? Well, she is running through your dreams, drags through the midnight and reignite. She's walking up to you. She's dying to be by your side. She's walking up to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduation ceremony is due to begin shortly. Could all guests please take their seats? Please refrain from taking any flash photography. Please ensure your mobile devices are set to silent. And in the unlikely event that we need to evacuate, please follow the directions of the venue. Thank you.
Every single time I find it harder to breathe, 'cause I need you here with me every day. You're saying the words that I want you to say. There's a pain in my heart and it won't go away. Now I know I'm falling in deep, 'cause I need you here with me every day. You're saying the words that I want you to say.
Across the world, we gather. Across the world, we learn. From each other, about each other, with each other.
With this quarantine, I'm not going stir crazy because I also have this little fluff ball.
Got a desk set up here with my laptop on a stand, a bit of paper on the side.
It was my first experience pitching to a real client.
In my mind, this is a fast track to these people being our industry leaders of the future.
Having studied and getting the knowledge here, and transferring it back to the community is just a way of saving people's lives, Saving people's lives doesn't mean that someone is going to die and you're saving it. No. Somebody might be in a very hard situation, but due to my knowledge, I can help him.
You are now a part of a graduate network that spans across the globe. Make sure you leverage it and connect with your fellow alumni.
When you're out in the industry, it doesn't matter what year you graduated. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because when it comes out to the industry and we're networking with each other, we can all have like-minded skills.
When it's a no-brainer and it's in your blood and it burns and it's what you know and it's what you love and you wake up in the morning, you think about it and you just have to do it at all costs. You do it. You're unstoppable at it.
I encourage you to keep persevering, don't give up, and have fun along the way. I did.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And how fantastic is it to see so many people in this audience? I can't see you very well because the lights are shining brightly in my eyes, but I think it's a fantastic testament, the fact that we have the room full and we have so many, from what I can tell, smiling graduates very happy to be celebrating today, as well as some wonderful family who are here to join them in that celebration. So I'd like you all collectively, because these guys have already clapped and yahooed and had a fantastic time, I'd like us all collectively to give a big round of applause to these wonderful students who graduate today. Now, I don't know how many people on my right have actually graduated, but I saw some very creative family members walk in today. And you can tell a family member who's been at a creative school or who loves the arts because there are a few ponytails over there. There are a few people with slightly longer hair than mine. And there are a few people who dress, well, what I consider very arty. So what I decided today, I've been wearing a red tie, I've been wearing a Torrens University tie, so an orange and a blue. And I decided I needed to have a bit of pink. So I went out and bought a pink tie, but it wasn't hot enough. So I then have a lovely, you can call it a waistcoat or a sash underneath to represent you all today. My name's David Addison. I'm only here for a short time, but a good time. And I'm here because I'm a learning facilitator at Torrens University. And I've only been in that role for just over 12 months now. And I was invited to come because I, in a way, represent a changing world where my business collapsed 12 months ago on March the 20th, 2020, because I had an event agency. And I suppose that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited today by seeing a full audience in a room. because it is something that many of us at Torrens University Australia have worked very hard for. Our future careers will be involved in events, which could be business events, they could be events for hotels, venues, or it could be creative people supporting the events and arts industries throughout Australia, but also throughout the world. Some of the work that's done at Torrens actually builds people in their future careers to be very respectful of industries such as hospitality, the arts, and also hotel management. And I think that ethos and that moral standing that Torrens brings everyone is very important for the future of your careers and also for the alumni that it builds amongst you. It is interesting to also reflect on the type of people within our what we call the MICE industry, which is meetings, incentives, conventions and exhibitions. And that is an industry that brings a lot of people together, although it hasn't done that much in the last 12 months. But it brings people together collectively to deliver hospitality services and services that embrace culture, embrace society, and embrace environmental practices and environmental issues. It also allows for the creative in us. So with advanced technology that is around today, we see things like virtual reality, augmented reality, and things like XR coming into event management practices, thanks to the innovation of young students and graduates like we have today. So I'm hoping that we can all hear from you all in the future in terms of your career prospects and how well you achieve your goals in the vocation of your choice. I'm going to be honest with you now. I've been asked to ad-lib a little bit as we're waiting for our academic faculty members to come and join us. So if you find that this is a little bit of a diatribe, please don't write to the organisers, and please also don't write to my LinkedIn account and abuse me. I'm not very good at jokes, so I won't bore you with those. But maybe if you can allow me just a couple of minutes to reflect on a couple of events that I ran. And these are events, or maybe just one. This is an event that couldn't be held now because it's offshore. And I just found it was a very good example of what I've used in my teaching at Torrens to try in a COVID world where we couldn't have our face-to-face engagement. So I was trying to bring a case study to the staff, or sorry, to the students I was teaching in postgraduate business events in a global context. So we had a client that was a corporate that wanted to go to have an incentive. So that means taking their staff into Vietnam. So we went to Ho Chi Minh City. They had a great time around Ho Chi Minh City. And then we took them down to Kai Rang. Can Tho, actually, is where they stayed overnight. And then we had them go out in junks in the early morning in the breakfast, had breakfast on the junks, and we then put them out in little boats in the Kai Rang floating market and asked them to barter and to exchange the product that they had on their boats, which was the product that they had from Australia. So, for example, Nestle condensed milk, which is something very, very of high interest to Vietnamese who love their coffees, and they have fantastic coffee. So they put the sweetened milk in that, but also, you know, Lipton tea bags and a whole array of different consumables. So we put them on their boats, and they had to exchange with the sellers who didn't speak English, and ours didn't speak Vietnamese, and they ended up having product. And anyway, a lot of durian came on board. People had lots of fun exchanging, and all of the produce went to an orphanage. So it was a great example of an incentive in an offshore land, and with a great outcome. I've been given the okay, so sorry about that. Whew, that was, I haven't done that before, I tell you, for a long time. Right, now back to the formalities. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Torrens University Australia Design Graduation Ceremony. And please be upstanding for the academic procession. Thank you. Please be seated. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Miss Rochelle Morris, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Liaison for Torrens University Australia, for today's Acknowledgement to Country.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin the proceedings today, I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I would also like to pay respect to the elders past and present and extend that respect to other Aboriginal people present here today. I would like to acknowledge that this gathering is being held on Aboriginal land and recognise the strength and resilience of its people. As we share our own knowledge, teaching, learning and research practices within this university, may we also pay respect to the knowledge embedded forever within Aboriginal custodianship of country. Thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle. Please stand for the national anthem, to be performed by Rebecca Murphy.
Australians gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, Rebecca. Please be seated. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Professor Scott Thompson-Whiteside. He is Executive Dean of Design and Creative Technology at Torrens University, Australia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. As has just been mentioned, my name is Scott Thompson-Whiteside, the Executive Dean of Design and Creative Technology, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you today to the 2021 Design Graduation for Torrens University, Australia. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the following people on the stage. Linda Brown, CEO, Strategic Education Australia and New Zealand, and President of Torrens University, Australia. Professor Alwyn Louw, Vice-Chancellor of Torrens University, Australia, and Academic Director of Think Education Australia. Professor Kerry London, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Research at Torrens University. Robin Latimer, OAM, Associate Dean of Design and Creative Technology, Torrens University. Dr. Mika Lepins, Project Lead for Non-Traditional Research. My fellow academic staff, graduands, family and friends, and everyone who has helped bring this ceremony together. Graduates, today's ceremony is both a wonderful celebration and an important rite of passage in your lives. We all need moments when we pause the rush of everyday life to reflect and celebrate. Each of you will have your own individual feelings and thoughts about graduating. But today, we collectively celebrate this critical milestone in your lives and acknowledge the hard work and perseverance which got you here. As we begin today's ceremony, allow me, on behalf of the entire Torrens University Australia team, to extend our warmest congratulations to you all, and also acknowledge the support that has helped you along the way. To all the family and friends, and those who could not be here in person, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement you have offered, and in many cases, the sacrifices that you have made. Graduands, we are here today to celebrate and praise your achievements. By choosing to engage in further study, you have shown us that you are prepared to challenge your own boundaries, break out of them, and redefine them. You will be equipped with the creative and critical problem-solving skills that society needs to shape a better future. Design is all around us. It shapes our physical and digital environments. It shapes our communication. It shapes the objects which we interact with. In simple terms, good design is important to shape the world in which we want to live in. By choosing to study with us, you have become part of an educational institution, which is also choosing to challenge its own boundaries and redefine the nature of vocational and higher education in Australia. We celebrate your graduation, knowing that as your journey continues, you will continue to embody the Torrens Be Good mission by serving and caring for others in your own distinctive way. I now have the great pleasure to introduce to you our guest speaker, Dr. Gein, who is the founder and CEO of Good Design Australia and chair of the Australia's annual Good Design Awards. Brandon.
Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, President and CEO Linda Brown, Vice Chancellor Professor Alwyn Louw, and most importantly, the students graduating today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you at your graduation. It's an incredible honour, and it's so nice to do it in person rather than in front of a computer screen via Zoom. To the students that are graduating today, I wish you all the success in the world. A massive congratulations to you all for completing your journey. This is a significant achievement and something that you should all be extremely proud of. There has never been a more exciting time to be a designer. As design graduates, you're entering a world with super complex problems and challenges that desperately need your skills and your talents. It literally felt like the other day I was sitting in your shoes, bursting with pride and ready to take on the big wide world out there. I graduated almost 30 years ago with a degree in industrial design, and little did I know just how incredibly valuable this design way of thinking would be today. I've spent the last 25 years of my life advocating for good design and the potential that it has to create a better, a safer, a more sustainable and a more prosperous world. As Scott was saying, design impacts everything around us, from the design of this building that we're sitting in today, to the chairs that you're sitting on, the smartphones that you're probably taking pictures with, to the online social media platforms that you're sharing those photos with, to the cars that you'll drive back home to, and the actual roads, the bridges, the tunnels that you'll drive on. They've all been designed by someone. Unfortunately, we take design for granted. We generally only pay attention to design when something has been badly designed. I've been extremely fortunate in my career to travel to almost every single corner of the globe to see the impacts of good design, but on the other hand, and sadly, the unnecessary impacts of bad design. I was also fortunate enough to complete a PhD in environmental design, where I try to answer this unanswerable question: what is good design? My quest was to find the holy grail of understanding what makes good design. How do we evaluate it? And more importantly, how do we apply it to not only designing and making better things, but to making our world better? I've been extremely fortunate to be at the helm of the Australian Good Design Awards for more than 25 years. The Good Design Awards are the country's oldest and most respected design awards, and proudly one of the longest standing and most prestigious design awards in the world today. And by the way, all you graduating students, you are able to enter. There's $50,000 in prize money to be won in our next generation category. So please, if you've got time after your partying, log on and put in a submission. It's free. For this graduation speech, I thought I'd share with you my 6 principles of good design that I hope will inspire you as you embark on your creative journey into the world out there. A world that desperately needs more designers, more creatives, and more dreamers. So here goes. Rule number 1, empathy. Empathy is at the core of good design. You need to be able to put yourself into the shoes of another person if you're going to design something for them. A deep understanding of the end user, their needs, their desires, their dreams, all come from an understanding of empathy. As designers and creators, we need to learn compassion for one another and also for our planet as a whole. And it all starts and ends with empathy. Please remember this. Number 2, optimism. I think designers and creatives really do have the best profession in the world. What we imagine in our heads, we get to draw, and what we draw sometimes becomes a reality. As designers, we need to continually imagine a better world and then design our way towards it. This is a future that we imagine, and it must be more sustainable. Designers don't get up in the morning and imagine a worse off outcome when they set out on a project. We'll leave that to the economists and the accountants. So having an optimistic mindset is absolutely critical. Please remember this. Number 3, beauty. I had the honour of meeting Kenji Ekwan in Tokyo many years ago. Kenji was one of the most famous industrial designers in the world. He sadly passed away in 2015. He designed so many amazing things, including the very first bullet train in Japan, as well as the timeless Kikkoman soy sauce bottle, the one with the little red head that you see in Japanese restaurants, that's remained unchanged for all these years. I asked Kenji, what is good design? And he simply replied, good design is beautiful. Naively, I thought, he's got it wrong. Good design must surely be more than beauty, I thought to myself. Kenji went on to explain that if you think of a flower, it's beautiful because of its function, and its function is to attract a bee, and in turn, the bee pollinates the flower. If the flower wasn't beautiful, the whole ecosystem would fail. It's a discussion I'll remember for the rest of my life, and from that point on, I always describe really good design as being beautiful. Beautiful in the way something works, in the way something looks, in the way something feels and functions. Beauty in the pure simplicity and sophistication in how something has been meticulously designed and thought of. Good design is beautiful. Remember that. Number 4, humility. I've met a lot of designers in my time, and humility is a trait I can tell you they don't all share. It sounds like a bit of an oxymoron to encourage designers to be humble when ultimately they're out there telling everyone that they're going to save the world. I truly believe that design as a way of thinking and design as a way of doing can and actually will improve our quality of life and ultimately will lead to better outcomes for our world. But we need to push this message with humility, with intelligence, and back it up with tangible evidence. So next time you walk into a room and somebody asks what you do for a living, don't just say, I'm a designer. Say, I'm doing my bit to help design a better world. Please remember this. Number 5, functionality. If it doesn't do what it says on the box, it's bad design, period. Functionality is fundamental to good design. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter how innovative it is, it doesn't matter how groundbreaking the technology is, or how shiny the object or the outcome is. Function wins every time. As the old saying goes, art doesn't have to work, but design does. So please remember this. And finally, number 6, sustainability. Yep, this is the holy grail for good design. We only have one planet, and we're living on it as if we have 6 of them. Everything we design, everything we produce, we build, we use, we throw away, has an impact on our planet. We only need to look at the amount of plastic in our ocean to truly grasp the enormity of this challenge. We've all heard the alarming statistics. By 2050, scientists predict that there will be more plastic in our oceans than fish. Bad design causes this problem, and good design, embedded into sustainable design practices, can actually help solve it. Good design solves problems, great design prevents them, and we need great design and great designers to help solve the environmental design challenges that face our planet. So please remember this. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the proud mums and dads and family members that are here today, the future is literally being designed every second of every day, and you guys, the people in this room graduating today, you are going to be at the centre of it. There has never been a period in our history where the skills of design and creative thinking are more important. Our world is crying out for innovative and creative solutions to some seriously complex challenges that will require a completely different way of thinking. If anything, COVID-19 has brought that to light. Yes, we need scientists, we need engineers, we need mathematicians, doctors and lawyers, but there is only so far their rational way of thinking will take us before we formulate the same old solutions to existing problems. Design and creativity allow us to look at problems in a completely different manner and imagine solutions that we've never dreamt of before. In the words of my friend and colleague Bruce Mau, the famous Canadian designer, design is the ability to imagine a future and then systematically execute that vision. So if you think about what all designers do, they're all futurists. They're all thinking about what's going to happen. They're all going to make something new happen in the world. They're all trying to make the world a better place. I've yet to meet a designer who wakes up in the morning thinking, I think we should do something worse. That's not our mandate. The ability to create a vision is one of the most powerful tools that a designer has. We don't really understand just how powerful it is. It's an incredible power to create the future by showing somebody what it looks like. So, to the graduates here today, go out there into the world and think big, dream even bigger, and make sure whatever you end up doing with your life as a professional designer, that you aim to leave this world of ours just a little bit better than you found it. Thank you very, very much, and congratulations.
Just on behalf of the university, thank you very much for your wonderful speech, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again, Brandon. I will now call upon Linda Brown, CEO, Strategic Education, Australia and New Zealand, and President of Torrens University, to confer the awards.
Can the graduates please stand? Thank you. By the virtue of authority vested in me by the Governing Board of Torrens University, Australia, I shall confer certain degrees. I certify that the candidates here now to be presented and in absentia have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to certain degrees and are entitled to be admitted to the rank, privileges, and responsibilities of these degrees. Congratulations. Please sit down.
Thank you, Linda. Now, we just have to wait about a minute or two for the first row of graduands to come down onto the stage. And I just want to reiterate my thanks again to Brandon, who gave that wonderful speech. I think for those of you, parents and friends in the audience who have seen their family members come through that design journey, hopefully you will begin to understand the kind of mindset that designers think and contribute to society. It is, as Brandon said, a wonderful profession to be part of. It's exciting, it's creative, it's energetic, but it can actually have a really profound influence on our world. So we'll just wait a few seconds. I shall now present each design candidate for admission. Vice-Chancellor. For the Diploma of Branded Fashion Design, Lloyd Campbell Haslam. Stephen Anthony Blaine. Chanel Roy. For the Diploma of Design, Althea Clarice Santos Ariza. Jacinta Tankpanya. Layla Rose Garner. Luke James Richard Moore. For the Diploma of Digital Media Design, Naomi Jones. Randy Ronaldo. For the Diploma of Graphic Design, Adrienne Jane Ann Rose. Amanda Custodio Puno. Angus William Mansfield. Ashley Tozer. Bethany Joy Rowe. Caroline Elizabeth Morrow. Dan Freeman. Dan Freeman. Daniel John Kavanagh. Darcy Bruce Lloyd. Jade Tamara Wells. Janice Wu. Larissa Molodike. Liam Gerard Callahan. Madeline Johnson. Maria Sturgio. Marina Castro Navarez. Nerida Newton. Rachel Semrani. Rubina Jahan Ahmed. Saida Mozenian. Shannon Hamilton Roach. Taylor Keys. Thomas Archie Rathbone. Violetta Blesley de Leon. Isabel Reyes. Zoe Eleanor Kayat. For the Diploma of Interior Design and Decoration, Ali Caitlin Green. Amelia Grace Rozek. Angela Abra. Bianca Dimesh. Carrie Liana Kozazi. Chloe White. Christelle Beatrice Sikara. Ellie Sydney Muir. Fiona Roach. Freya Johanna Horth Peterson. Geraldine Ann Denny. Hayley Rachel Storworthy. Jennifer Kelly. Kiera Nikki Thanoff. Kirsty Therese Mary Bryson. Lacey May Boss. Lauren Summers. Leotrine Bishi. Lucy Elizabeth Murdoch. Marcia Delia Promesti. Naomi Valle. Nigel Carroll Watto. Philippa May Stally. Rosemary Obeid. Samantha Ann Buddle. Shi Wang. Sophie Ruth Charles. Stephanie Gerhard. Taylor M. Osborne. Tegan Vella. Tiffany Alice Lewis. Widad Khan. Zena Thomas. For the Diploma of Photo Imaging, Abby Jade Stephen. Carl Victor Bjorkvist. Crystal Ray Pfeiffer. Isabella Christina Bursuk. Kada Court. Lily May Wheeler. Matthew Guinard. Michael Chesworth. Natalie Maria Barutha. Natalie O'Keefe. Samuel Jeffrey Baker. Taylor Susan Doreen Kiss. For the Associate Degree of Interior Design Commercial, Helen Nguyen. For the Bachelor of Branded Fashion Design, Angelica Quaker. Anna Maria Anicic. Anna Moragis. Brooke Allen. Caroline Shelley Payne. Diana Gisela Arias Cruz. Eleni Kalivretikanis. Gemma Hardiman. Georgia May Wales. Grace Isabel Moorhead. Jasmine Fender. Jasmine Dempsey. Christine Alpida Tsatsios. Lara Elaine Ishak. Mariana Santos Hara. Natalie Allison Becker. Natasha Fallath. Nicole Ashley Severin. Sabrina Pillay. Samantha Emily Lamport. Sun Yong Lee. Sevin Gabrielle Vanaglia. Tabitha Tegan Hendry. Thomas St. Cyr. William Ong. Zara Wiseman. Aidan Smith. Alana Ishak. Alexander Adam. Ananisa Diranu Nasalo. Justina Wenban. Christine Siaglia. Claudia Hayward. Concetta Gagliano. Diana Horska. Eli Sebastian Oges. Erin Claire Knight. Fanny. Gabrielle Felicita. Georgia Marie Rudder. Jacob Jet Gallagher. Janice Regina Tantoni. Jared Kieran Nui. Jennifer Gontoro. Juhi Park. Juliana Emilia Sinisalmi. Lucy Lima. Madison Lynn. Narissa Angelica Soden. Nicola Margaret Tarlington. Rachel Drayson. Raphael Mubarak. Rebecca Antonia O'Day. Richard O'Prey. Sabina Piper. Sandra Dang. Taylor Jade Chidgey. Than Diao Van. Tui Duong Nguyen. Annabelle Louw. Zoe Gomez. For the Bachelor of Creative Technologies in Game Art, Sarah Davidson. Cherie Fiala. For the Bachelor of Digital Media in 3D Design and Animation, Alexander Lee Newton. Kang Min Kim. Lok Sang Ho. Michael Ivan Butson. Sheila May Louw. Stephanie Diana Ferrari. Van Dong Nguyen. For the Bachelor of Digital Media, Film and Video Design, Boban Gocheski. Holy Christ Panutomo. Kieran C. Laura Mayano Morales. Livia Lei Sang. Livia Lei Sang. For the Bachelor of Digital Media Interaction Design, Finlay Dugan. Khan V. Le. Lars Erik Nordstrom. Matthew Hall Cotton. Sarah Patricia Hobbs. For the Bachelor of Game Design and Development, Ting Feng Mei. For the Bachelor of Interior Design Commercial, Anna Simon Waba. Bethany Thomas. Fabiana Shauka. Hannah Godfrey. Jessica Watson. Julia Kim Tien Tran. Juliet Law. Maria Fernanda Soriano Cortez. Mariam Darwich. Mary Bui. Nadetha Dudina. Natasha Elizabeth Beverly. Nina Mikoko Kogan. Pamela McCabe. Romy Jacqueline Peacock. Wei Zhao. Yawapa Setiang. Alessa May Liwag. Olivia Stella Hagano. Alicia Estelle Kelly. Ashley Winter Williams. Brooke Lee Beniston. Claire Nicholas. Eden Royal. Gemma Potaka. Grace Meek. Jack Robertson Butler. Jamie Mitrovic. Lillian Heike Gersbach. Luke Ashford. Olga Josegova. Petra Egel. Samantha Gillett. Victoria Elizabeth Susanna. Yun Su Lee. For the Bachelor of Interior Design Commercial and Bachelor of Interior Design Residential, Amy Pinkerton. Persephone Apostolou. For the Bachelor of Software Engineering, Game Programming, Christopher John Waits. For the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Interior Design Commercial, Bonnie Hain. Chloe Gill. Teresa Quinn Nguyen. For the postgraduate certificate in UX and web design, Benjamin John Leddy. Bethany Page Lindquist. Danielle Abigail Ocampo Arana. Lenka Danielle Chadiaj. Mariam Ghanaian. Yuki Kamitaki. Yvette Carolina Munoz. For the Master of Design, Alessandra Vasta. Amanda Wijaja. Jurat Julia Lumsden. Najor Sands Iriza. Noel McLaughlin. For the Master of Design Advanced, Amanda Dawn Sharp. Rutu Ketan Gandhi. Simona Popovska. Congratulations to all of our design graduates and those graduating in absentia today. I would now like to call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alwyn Louw, to announce the Awards of Excellence and also for Robin Latimer OAM to present them. Thank you.
Good. President. The Excellence in Higher Education Awards are given to the highest academic achievement by a student eligible to graduate at the Sydney ceremony in any higher education course offered by the faculty. The first winner is the Vocational Excellence Award that is presented to Helen Yu. Unfortunately, she cannot be here today, except if it changed since. We don't have that. Just very briefly, what she qualified for. Helen was an outstanding student and achieved a high distinction result in every subject as part of her Diploma of Graphic Design Studies. She's a 2020 Australian Graphic Design Association Awards finalist and commendation recipient across multiple project submissions. Her work as part of a work integrated learning project for Sydney Children's Hospital was well received by the client. Excellent achievement. We can give her an applause in absence. The other one is the Undergrad Excellence Award that is presented to Louw, also not here today. Louw earned 18 high distinctions and 5 distinctions throughout his bachelor's degree. He won the Stern Design Awards for his innovative use of materials in his kitchen design, and was a finalist in the Dulux Color Awards for an autonomous sensory meridian response project using color to create a calming and rejuvenating experience. Both awards are highly respected by industry and competitive across Australian universities. Louw is also a Design Institute of Australia DIA Graduate of the Year Award nominee. And then the Postgraduate Excellent Award is presented to Alessandra Vasta. You must be here. Please come up. Throughout her progression in the Master of Design course, Alessandra wholeheartedly embraced the ethos of the university, which was incorporated into every detail of her final capstone project. Her project used Pinitex, a plant-based leather product, which generated zero waste during the production process to create an environmentally friendly amenity kit. Her values aligned with a strong ethical standpoint, and the final assessment panel noted the high degree of professionalism that informed her project. Alessandra was a highly collaborative and supportive student who provided exceptional feedback to her peers and at times advocated on their behalf. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all award winners. Now, I'd like to actually call upon Alessandra Vasta, who just received that award, to come back on stage and actually give the graduate address. She didn't know she was winning an award today, so hence the surprise.
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon, Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alwyn Louw, President Linda Brown, esteemed academic staff, special guests, and of course, graduating students. Congratulations, we made it. My name is Alessandra Vasta, and I'm graduating alongside you all today with the Masters of Design. I am honoured to have been asked by Deborah Hunter to deliver this speech today. Little did I know Deborah's integral role to my university journey upon our first interaction in 2017. Like many of us here, Deborah interviewed me for a place in my degree, co-directed capstone in my final year, but most importantly, remained an imperative touch point throughout my studies. When I think about what it means to be engaged and nurtured as a student, Deborah remained exemplary, which I'm certain many fellow students can agree. Upon very nervously, yet humbly accepting to deliver this speech, I had about 1,000 thoughts running through my mind around what I would say. I wasn't sure exactly. Granted, I was spanning a design career of 20 years, and for the past 3 years as a student once again. So I did what I always do. I sat down and I pulled up YouTube. I typed in Bon Jovi Live and I turned it up very loud. This is how I run at my best, in fact, with my favourite rock music soundtrack to inspire my next move. I've always romanticised the idea that the road is best travelled in the company of inspiration. Every single range I've designed, every branding project produced, every single research piece or assignment submission, this very speech, in fact, has always been backed by rock guitar. It plays to my passion as a designer and provides the heartbeat and soul of my work. It simply locks into my aesthetic and shared ideals to that of a musician around passion, dedication, courage, commitment, and resilience. Qualities I have equally inherited from my parents, and qualities I proudly share with every graduating student today. I grew up a first-generation Italian in an Italo-Australian household, and so I witnessed sacrifice, challenges and adversity throughout my childhood. This was met by tenacity. My father arrived in Australia at the age of 17. English his second language, he demonstrated courage and determination. He would later marry my mother, provide for and raise 5 children successfully. Thinking back to my earliest aspirations, I'll always remember a conversation in my early teens asking Mum for a drum kit. Before I could finish my sentence, it was a big no. Those things are too loud. The compromise was guitar lessons, which was fine. Overall, though, I had this grand idea that I'd become a fashion designer or a musician someday. Having continuously done well throughout my studies at high school in textiles and music, my passion for design was very much front and centre, and luckily well supported at home due to my mother's ties and passion for dressmaking. So in 1999, off I went to the very fashion school I aspired to. Studying fashion design that long ago was extremely manual technical illustrations, and mood boards that we created with cardboard, magazine tear sheets, scissors and glue. Digital portfolios were still a couple of years away, and with the introduction of Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to the curriculum only as I graduated, everything I knew about design software today, I learned only once I went out to industry. Dedicated to my field, I quickly earned senior roles and travelled frequently. But in the late 2000s, there was a moment that almost broke me as a designer. The Australian fashion industry had taken a turn. International fast fashion houses were moving in, boldly delivering instant runway ranges quicker than we could get fabric samples shipped. The industry's capacity to meet me at my skill level and needs with suitable roles was really tough. I had to think fast on my feet and had decided to lean into the current wave of opportunity knocking at my door. So I needed to pivot, and it was my graphic design skill set that saved me. As creatives, we possess a broad range of transferable skills, and so to keep myself relevant in fashion, I was working on my label whilst contracting design and branding roles in other industries, producing work that I was really proud of. Despite delivering some amazing projects, I made some major mistakes along the way around my alignment with the types of businesses I engaged. Eventually, though, I honoured the lesson that no matter where I ended up, shared values had to always be the priority. Fast forward to 2017, I'm 37 years old and now running my own successful creative agency in Pyrmont. The resounding question I'd been asked continuously upon learning of my enrolment to university was why I would consider further study at this age, given I still had motherhood to consider. It was 16 years since I graduated from fashion school, and despite the undeniable value of on-the-job experience, I knew that there were a lot of years of innovation, technological advancements, new terminology, design thinking, and an exciting concept around the circular economy to consider. As I set out to find a master's degree, I was seeking a university that walked the talk with shared values. Billy Blue were backed by Torrens University, who I knew were of B Corp status. And at a master's level, the course was multidisciplinary, speaking to all creatives from different backgrounds. The value in aligning with an institution that embodies values like be creative, be bold, be global, and most of all, be good, really appealed to me. Giving consideration to something that is more than just an idea with intended purpose and impact is imperative for any creative. I was sold, and it was not a hard sell. I suppose the most poignant and memorable moments for me throughout my studies were many a time I realised that despite background, students, we really transcended culture, language at times, yet we were each other's biggest fan. We were cheering one another on, supporting the next student's idea and concept, providing feedback and openly sharing resources and contacts with patience, huge virtual hugs and high fives. This type of collaboration is a testament to the institution. Billy Blue and Torrens were able to meet me, beyond my initial needs, and I discovered this on a much more personal level more than once. My relationship with the university has been truly inspiring. A Masters of Design degree reflects some serious muscle, requires a lot of commitment and hard work. It really initiated a whole new world of thinking and creating. It provided the exact insight and further learning I sought, and despite studying off campus for the last part of my degree, I knew that I became part of something that would have a lasting impact on my heart and on my future. The way in which diversity is embraced and the positive impact that Torrens has for the better good of the future is to be commended. Within many of our projects, we were guided to continuously consider forming our work's foundation on the basis of Be Good values, to give greater meaning and benefit. Executing socially responsible ideas would be met with a high level of satisfaction. In the classroom, I was always in awe of our diversity. Being surrounded by people of different ages from such varied cultural backgrounds, languages, and life experiences was something that I cherished. I'd always felt an immense sense of pride that every one of us had a different story to tell, yet the notion that we'd arrived in the same place to achieve the one common goal transcended culture, as together we shared a collective passion of following our dreams. I studied throughout 2017 with the intention to complete my degree in 2018. Things didn't quite go to plan, however, and 3 weeks after my final assessment submission in December 2018, I had experienced my most sacred and transformational personal rite of passage. I took a year away from university, returning in 2020, the year of a global pandemic, a year where hours and days would blend, and on the study front required adaptability as we moved off campus and into a full-time online learning environment. I was really concerned about the transition, wondering how are the creatives and designers going to cope? How am I going to cope? We love feedback. We crave expression in a critique. Yet the new landscape equated to graded assessment transactions coupled with Zoom conversations. As we were settling into the new way of learning, it was during my final subject late last year, capstone, I felt a sentiment in the group that was that of togetherness. In fact, thinking back, I still find it ironic that our student and lecturer interactions were over a screen, and yet we were as forthcoming and supportive as if we were in a classroom. It spoke volumes about passion and commitment, however, unsurprising, given we were guided and supported by incredible academic facilitators who very much nurtured the new setting. If I may mention, Dr. Fiona Chateau and Deborah Hunter. Graduation felt like it could have been a dream at some points. I knew early on that if I was going to get there, that I needed to be my own biggest hero and stay focused, even when it felt like things weren't going to plan. You see, when I returned to complete my degree, I did so as a first-time mother. With the support of my husband Dom, I was studying full-time whilst simultaneously navigating motherhood. And I'm proud to say that my 2-year-old son Jackson is here with us this afternoon to celebrate our huge achievement. So, fellow graduates, today the dream has been realised. We are here and we made it together. With the support of the fantastic institution that is Torrens University and Billy Blue College of Design. If I can sum this all up, I would say, remove all the stigma and expectations. Don't attach an age to your dreams. You're never too old to start something new. Work hard, play hard, run your own race, but while you're doing it, always remain humble. Challenges bring opportunity if you let your passion guide you. Always remember to acknowledge and thank your parents. And just like you did with your degree, don't be afraid to chase your dreams wherever they take you. In the words of Mick Jagger, lose your dreams and you might lose your mind. Thank you and congratulations.
Well, good. Thank you. I don't think it's a Bon Jovi CD, but there we go. Thank you for that, Alessandra. I'd now like to welcome back to the podium the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alwyn Louw, to deliver the graduation closing speech.
President. Members of the executive, staff and colleagues, our graduates, special word of welcome, of course, today. This is your day. Parents, friends, and support groups present here today. Citing our guest speaker, you know, making the world better, making it look better. Now, I was impressed with the idea that you will never find a designer getting up in the morning and ask the question, how are we going to make things worse today? Is that true? Wonderful. Right. Now, graduation ceremonies is a moment when we look back and consolidate our experiences during our period of learning and growing towards this recognition. So this is, of course, a milestone and a day when we have to ask these questions about what really happened. We just heard the story of our student speaker, which was very inspiring and important to understand the whole life world of students and not only the learning experience which we often focus on. At the same time, it is loaded with the expectation and a bit of fear of what next and dreams of all the opportunities this new status will unlock. Nelson Mandela said, "There's no passion to be found in playing small." He said that live a life you are capable of. And then also said this very significant thing, our biggest fear is the potential we may unlock. In other words, we're sometimes afraid by just giving our all and really challenging the boundaries that I'm experiencing. Something may happen that I cannot handle. And it's strange that we are afraid of our inability to handle our creation. Looking at people who made significant contributions during their lives, it is evident that there are some key characteristics that we can learn from. And primary to these is the importance of having a clear purpose of who you are and why and where you are heading. We are living in an era where the noise of society may cause us to become a product of our environment rather than being an architect of it. It's so easy to just roll along, just float through the system because the system has tolerance for us to be there. The advantage of having a purpose is that it allows you the opportunity to take control of your life and decide on the direction you are heading towards. This enables you to live a life of meaning, led by integrity, and maybe just for that, live by integrity, saying that what you commit to will happen, because that is how you're going to live. Where self-interested goals change to contributive goals, and it is on this basis you start to grow. It is evident, however, that success depends on commitment, without which you will never start anything, and then consistency, without which you will never finish anything. Looking forward from today, it is important that the dreams you have must find meaning in the purpose and goals you attach to it, without which it remains only ideas without feet. It is evident that all success stories are grounded in the consistent commitment to take a risk and never give up. We see the success of Thomas Edison, who had 1,000 failed experiments and then developed the light bulb. We most recently saw Elon Musk with Tesla on the brink of absolute failure, to the extent that he had to borrow money from his friends to pay his rent. He stuck with his commitment, he stuck with his focus, his purpose, and currently he is the second richest person in the world. It is important to learn that success comes through the understanding that we need each other. Everyone must take responsibility also for everyone around them. It is important that in this world we live with hope and that we build everything step by step. We take responsibility for each step as we move on. And this interesting little story about 3 brickmakers, and someone asked, "What are you doing?" And the one's response was, I'm making bricks. Very obvious. Second one said, I'm making bricks because I want to build a wall. And the third one said, we are building a cathedral. See the difference? Where's your perspective? Where's your view? Where's your focus? Is it the bricks? Or is it really this big picture, or this opportunity, or this something that is out of my control, but within our control? So we can move bigger. It's imperative that life and great ideals never stop with ourselves. True success stories always aim at something higher, better, and beyond myself. A classical example is Mother Teresa. Question now, today, with the competencies that you have, the values, the skills, the knowledge, the attitudes that you developed, how are you going to channel this and start to live this and start to apply this and make this real in the world in which you're going to be involved? In other words, how are you going to tackle the issues of the day? Poverty, inequality, unemployment. We can carry on with all those. How do we start to make that better? Because the world needs what we have. And we have to decide how we're going to make it available to the world and in what form, in what way. The context asks from us, in other words, society around us, asks from us that we have a responsibility to continuously participate in the process of building society. So it expects from us to play that role. The key competencies that is expected is that we optimize our ability to be optimal human beings. That means that we should understand that human beings are not disappearing. They're not moving out of the picture. Human beings are moving into the picture and starting to look at technology, innovation, new opportunities as mechanisms to improve their own ability to deliver more. We're talking about this, often people will say, but are we now going to disappear? Are we going to lose all our jobs? All the roles that we play, is that going to become insignificant? This is not where the world is going. Where the world is going is the optimization of technology, innovation, new ideas, new opportunities will be created through this. But in this, we are human beings that use these opportunities to improve the lives of everyone. And it's very clear, if you look at the 10 top skills required in the Fourth Industrial Revolution and what is expected from people in this era. Typical soft skills, if you want to be able to listen actively, to do complex problem solving, to be creative, and to think critically. That ability to take an argument to another level through rational thinking, honest engagement around specific issues. Judgment and decision making. How do I separate things from each other to start to make sense of it? Negotiation, people management, quality control, and a service orientation. You develop these skills during your learning process with a focus, as discussed above, the commitment, the consistency, the purpose-driven orientation, understanding that your passion sits in your purpose. With those things and the specific drive, it is important that you move forward and continue to develop what you've learned and what you started to internalize during your period of learning. But the last position on this from Warren Buffett, he said you should link all this with curiosity. Never accept that your view is immediately right. Never accept that what you hear and what you read is finally true at that moment. Always be curious, ask more, look further. Focus. Make sure that you know where you're heading. And then a very important one, humility. And we all know about the 5th level of leadership. And then we're talking about a sense of humor. So life is serious. Of course it's serious. But you must have some fun in living it. If the fun disappears out of being alive, out of being creative, out of being challenging the environment around us, then it's a sad day. Congratulations with your wonderful achievements. And we are proud of you and remain committed to be your lifelong partner in your journey to go and be good in this world. With so many opportunities and challenges to make a constructive contribution, we would like to welcome you as a member of the alumni of Torrens University and really hope that you will be actively involved, because this is a source of inspiration where we continue to support each other, but also an opportunity through which you can make a contribution. Congratulations and thank you to the family and friends of our graduates. Thank you for trusting us with the education of your friends and partners. We are honored to be these partners and continue to be that in the process towards building a better world. Thank you very much.
I have the absolute privilege of closing the ceremony this afternoon, but I would like to ask a favour of all our graduates. We're incredibly privileged being here together today. We've graduated over 2,000 students in the last 2 days. Many of family, friends and students can't be with us because they can't travel home or they can't have people travel here. So on behalf of them, can you please stand? Can you please turn to your family and friends and thank them very much for the support they've given you on behalf of all. And can we have a very, very large round of applause for the people who can't be here today and their family can't be here. Thank you. If the rest of the audience can be upstanding, the academic parade will leave first, followed by the graduates, and then family and friends. Thank you.
Across the world, we gather. Across the world, we learn. From each other, about each other, with each other.
With this quarantine, I'm not going stir crazy because I also have this little fluff ball.
Got a desk set up here with my laptop on a stand, a bit of paper on the side.
It was my first experience pitching to a real client.
In my mind, this is a fast track to these people being our industry leaders of the future.
Having studied and getting the knowledge here, and transferring it back to the community is just a way of saving people's lives, Saving people's lives doesn't mean that someone is going to die and you're saving it. No. Somebody might be in a very hard situation, but due to my knowledge, I can help him.
You are now a part of a graduate network that spans across the globe. Make sure you leverage it and connect with your fellow alumni.
When you're out in the industry, it doesn't matter what year you graduated. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because when it comes out to the industry and we're networking with each other, we can all have like-minded skills.
When it's a no-brainer and it's in your blood and it burns and it's what you know and it's what you love, and you wake up in the morning, you think about it, and you just have to do it at all costs. You do it, you're unstoppable at it.
I encourage you to keep persevering, don't give up, and have fun along the way. I did.